Hello, and welcome to the TradeSide Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 18th of September, and ending Friday, the 23rd. We had a good week, man. It was a slow week in Forex until a big winner to close out the week, 175 pips on our final exit on the pound on Friday. But man, other than that, this was just not an impressive week at all in the markets. Well, stocks and futures were good. Forex just very, very flat. Some of the narrowest we've seen. Here's the dollar index daily chart. You can see it, not including Friday where we headed up and hit that green static trend line once again. That's been the resistance point. But if you look at the four candles before it, it was very, very narrowly contained. Let's go through the charts. Euro dollar just looks like the inverse of the dollar index at this point. The pound, as the dollar got stronger, obviously the pound gets weaker, but this is a troublesome chart for the pound. You break the lows there, that's going to lead to a significant move to the downside based on that construction. Aussie dollar also losing a little bit of ground on Friday and over the course of the week, but again, fairly narrow. Pound yen looks kind of like the pound dollar, heading lower. Euro yen, not much going on there either. Pound Swiss also heading down, and the New Zealand dollar pair, which has been stronger over the last few months, it's pulled back a bit here as well. All right, here's a look at the intra-week action. So this is 30-minute candles. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this euro dollar from Monday until early Friday. There's a spike on Thursday that actually swept us out of a trade. If you just get rid of, you can basically say that the majority of this week was between 1.1210 and 1.1270, maybe even 60. That's a 50 to 60 pip range for 4.5 days on the euro dollar. That is just horrible. And then boom on Friday. Pound, not much better, a little bit better. 200 pips of range earlier in the week, and then the Friday, the big move lower that helped us out. I have a feeling we're going to be making some money on the short side of the pound here over the next few weeks. But we have not really come out of summer doldrums yet. We're still trading half size. Usually the markets start to pick up at some point after Labor Day. Stocks and futures are in full swing again, minus Friday's options expiration, and we just need to start seeing it here on the Forex stuff. All right, let's go through the economic data for this week, what's coming out, and get a roadmap. Now that triple expiration is over, we're on to the December expiration for everything. So Sunday, not much. Japan's on a bank holiday. Monday, current account out of Europe. U.S. has the NAHB Housing Market Index. Then Monday night, Australia's CB leading index and monetary policy minute meetings along with their housing price index. You jump to Tuesday already. Switzerland's trade balance and SECO economic forecast, German PPI, 30-year bond auction out of the UK. U.S. has housing starts and building permits. None of this matters. Visitor arrivals out of New Zealand, not a big deal. Trade balance out of Japan Tuesday night here in the U.S. MI leading index and mid-year economic and fiscal outlook out of Australia. Credit card spending out of New Zealand. Monetary policy statement out of Japan from they've got the Bank of Japan rate announcement basically right there. UK, public sector net borrowing, Bank of England quarterly bulletin, dollar CAD wholesale sales, China's CB leading index, then US has their weekly crude oil inventories. Oh, we got a Fed announcement. So not only do you have the Bank of Japan doing their rates this week on Tuesday going into Wednesday, we've got a 2-day Fed meeting Tuesday, Wednesday. That will slow us down a bit there. Oh, and then New Zealand on top of it, their rate announcement Wednesday night. Ugh. And then Japan goes back on holiday. Did they start the week on a holiday? They start the week on a holiday, then they wake up for one day to have a Bank of Japan announcement, and then they go back on holiday. Interesting. Okay, Europe's ECB bulletin, UK CB industrial order expectations. We're already into Thursday here. Unemployment claims, that's the weekly number here in the U.S. Housing price index here in the U.S. Consumer confidence out of Europe. I always think that's weird. 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's late for Europe. U.S. existing home sales and CB leading index. The weekly natty gas number. Japan's flash manufacturing PMI. And then we're already to Friday. French, German, and European flash manufacturing and services PMI data. Canada's got core retail sales and CPI. That's it. Nothing really out of the U.S. flash manufacturing PMI at 9:45 a.m. out of the U.S. That's the whole week. So what does that really do for us? Other than the Fed meeting being in the middle of the week and taking up 2 days, that's not usually good for excitement for the Forex. Not a lot. So I don't know. Is this going to be the week where they start to wake up and get back to work, or are we still waiting? We will have to see. We will certainly be on it either way, no matter what happens, ready to go as usual. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. I don't think I have, much else to say about this one. this week we'll just play it as it goes. If you have not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We'll help you out. Have a great trading week.